All right, guys, for your last day of the project, you will be putting all of your paragraphs that you have typed previously into one big essay now. This way it's going to be easier for you when you're giving your essay, or you're giving your video essay, I should say. It'll just be a lot easier for you to organize your thoughts and to organize your facts in your websites. So, go ahead and come up to your introduction that you typed. That was right here. Just copy and paste it. Do that with your 2 paragraphs that you did on Tuesday. And then Wednesday was your conclusion paragraph. Just copy and paste them all right below here. See where I'm typing my zeros? Just copy and paste them there so that you have your full essay and you can start practicing for your video presentation. I'd like you to have it memorized for the most part if you can, just so that you're constantly looking at the camera. And I'm actually going to be giving you my presentation right now so you can see what it could look like if you were to do the video. All right, so I'm going to show you what my notes look like first so that you can see what I'm looking off of as I'm doing my video presentation. So I have my claim typed right there at the top. Then I have my introduction written, followed by my first transition I'd like to use for my first website. I have my website listed and the author. Then I have my 3 facts and how they prove my claim, followed by my second transition with my second website and the author, my 3 facts, and then I have my conclusion written. So that's how I've kind of broken mine down. If you wanted to do yours this way, you can as well. Or if you just wanted to stick with the essay format that you wrote, that's fine too. So now I'll be doing my presentation so you can see what that looks like. All right, so first thing you want to do is make sure that you are centered on the video so that it's really easy for me to see. You have really good lighting so that I can see you, and that so how I have it is I have my phone set up right here, and it's actually up against my computer where my notes are so that I can look back at my computer and look at you at the same time. Hopefully it works that way. So when you're giving your presentation, make sure that you're making eye contact with the camera, just like you'd be making eye contact with me if I was in class. Make sure your voice is loud so that I can hear you. And then make sure you are enunciating and not stuttering or not saying or like a lot of the time. You can use your hands as much as you want, just like you would for a regular presentation. If you wanted to bring in note cards that you could have here in front of you, if that would help you, you could do that as well. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You could have some pictures in the back if you'd like to reiterate what your topic is. Whatever you feel like doing, however creative you want to be, that's fine. And then also remember, there is a rubric on that Google Doc to show you how I'm going to be grading you. So please look at that as well so you can see what you will be getting for your grade if you follow the rubric exactly. All right? Hello, thank you so much for coming to my presentation about e-cigarettes and how they are actually just as bad for you as cigarettes are. So the first thing I'm going to do is give you my introduction for my e-cigarettes is worse or just as harmful as actual cigarettes are. I bet you think vaping is better for you than cigarettes, but you would be wrong. Vaping has been shown to be just as damaging to your health as cigarettes are. The first website I found was from CBS News, written by Lee Cohen, who's a journalist there. She wrote a great article that I'm going to be referencing, and it talks about how bad vaping really is for your health. She talks about the damages it has to your arteries and your blood vessels, along with increase for heart disease. A second website I found was about teens and vaping, written by Dr. Gordon. It showed the harmful effects that vaping can have on your body, but also on your mind as well. My hope is that you learn from the terrible effects and decide for yourself if you want to vape. My hope is that after hearing all of my facts, you will not vape and you'll tell other people that you know all of the damaging things that vaping can do to you. My first transition is, the first website from CBS News shows how awful e-cigs can be to your health. The first website is, e-cigarettes could be just as bad for your health as regular cigarettes, written by Lee Cohen. The first fact I found was, according to a study published by the American Heart Association, researchers found that vaping and cigarettes cause the same amount of damage to your arteries and blood vessels. This proves my claim by showing the comparison between the two types of smoking and how they can be damaging to you. My second fact, the study done by the American Heart Association, or AHA, followed 400 men and women aged 21 to 45 who either smoked cigarettes, did vaping, or they did both. The study found e-cigs cause significant damage to the endothelial cells, you can look those up if you'd like, I had to, which are located in the lining of the blood vessels. Endothelial cells actually protect the heart. When these are damaged, it puts the user at a higher risk for heart disease. This proves my claim by showing that e-cigs are just as damaging to your heart than smoking because it affects the endothelial cells. My last fact that I'm using for this website was, e-cigs do not reduce cardiovascular injury, dysfunction, or harm associated with the use of combustible tobacco products. And that was a quote by Freeman. Freeman is the co-author of the study that the American Heart Association did. This proves my claim by showing that e-cigs are just as harmful as regular cigarettes. My second transition now. The second website from Kids Health shows how addictive and harmful e-cigs can be. The author who wrote this was Lana P. Gordon, who is a doctor. Fact 1. Vaping contains nicotine, just like cigarettes do. Nicotine slows your brain development in teens and affects your memory. It affects your attention. It affects your learning, your concentration, and your mood. That's 5 things that it affects. This proves my claim that vaping is just as bad for you because it contains nicotine, just like cigarettes do. My second fact is, if you decide to vape, you will have an increased risk of addiction to other things in your life. So, you might think, oh, I'm just vaping right now. That's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It can actually lead to you doing more types of drugs or alcohol in the future. People have used e-cigs to vape marijuana. And I think a lot of you probably know what marijuana is. It's a highly addictive drug. You can't do this with cigarettes. You actually can't. Cigarettes just have the nicotine in it that's addicting. But now they're able to put marijuana in vapes, which is awful. And that's why it makes it even worse than cigarettes. This proves my claim that e-cigs are worse than cigarettes because they can be used to become addicted to other types of drugs. My last fact from this website is, your long-term risk when vaping is really unknown at this point. Vaping hasn't been around as long as cigarettes have. In fact, it's only been around for a couple of years. So they aren't even able to do any studies to show a long-term effect on vaping. But did you know that since vaping has been around, over 80 people have already died from vaping? That is very scary to think that it hasn't been around for very long, yet it's already killing people. And they don't even know what kind of long-term damage you're going to have from vaping because it hasn't been around long enough to study. That's scary that it's already killed that many people. That proves my claim that cigs are worse than cigarettes because it's already killing people and hasn't been around for very long. Now my conclusion. As you have heard, e-cigs are just as harmful as regular cigarettes, which was my claim. They can cause heart disease, memory loss, loss of concentration, and can damage your arteries and blood vessels. Not only do they cause damage, but they are also addicting and may lead to you doing other types of drugs down the road. These are the many reasons that you should never pick up an e-cig in your entire life. I hope I've convinced you to stay away from e-cigs. Don't even pick one up. Don't even try it. And I hope that if you know anyone that's doing an e-cig currently, that you're going to run to them right now and tell them all of the consequences that they could potentially be doing to their body and to their mind. And you might just save their life. All right. It was pretty painless, guys. It was actually really easy. I'm going to tell you, I did all of my research today, and I wrote this today, and I presented it today. It was really easy. So imagine you having 3 weeks to do your research and having a couple days before you have to actually turn this in to work on your presentation. You guys are going to be rock stars at this. This is due Monday, May 4th. There's a place you can turn it in on Google Classroom. If you do not know how to upload or turn in a video on Google Classroom, I posted a video of how to do that on your Schoology page. So you'll have to go back, and it's the very first thing that's posted in this unit. So the unit folder that I have for this unit, it's the very first thing that's posted there. So you can go watch the video for that. All right. If you guys have any questions over the weekend, please email me. I can Zoom with you too. I got my phone with me all the time. I can Zoom on my phone. Let me know and I can help you out with anything that you need. I've never had anybody upload a video to Google Classroom before, so this is my first time too. So I'm learning just along with you guys. So you'll have to bear with me here, but it'll be fun. I can't wait to watch your guys' videos. All right, have fun.